Today we're going to be covering a topic a little bit different than I usually cover, folks. It's about an island, the Canary Islands, actually, and some interesting things that are going on, as you would say, there right now. I've seen some videos, obviously, about this. You've probably seen a few, maybe, here and there, but I haven't seen a lot of people talking about this. And it's rather interesting in what's going on right now, and some of the things that people have had dreams about regarding this. Here's one example right here, folks. A man by the name of Teal. There's also another guy, John, I think his last name was Leary. And actually, I'd seen a number of people post videos about this, having a dream about these particular islands and something that is going on right now there, a volcano. And it's not just about that. There's actually a lot more to this. Matter of fact, let me just show you this up front because I hadn't seen anybody else really cover this. Here's sort of a layout of the island, all right? And here is a fault line on the island, okay? So this is what they're saying, is if there was enough, I guess you'd say, from the volcano, it could cause this part of the land on the fault line to literally go into, as you would say, the water, and this would all make 300-foot tall, as you would say, waves.
What? This is where the rare events called mega tsunamis come in, and there's one in the future that some scientists are predicting will happen eventually. The generation of mega tsunamis may be most important to understand in the Atlantic, mostly because of the large number of active oceanic volcanic islands and the fact that some of these volcanoes are showing early signs of instability. The most infamous of these is located here in the Canary Islands off the coast of West Africa, the Cumbre Vieja volcano on the island of La Palma. It's erupted several times in the past, most recently in 1949 and again in 1971, but a paper written later in 1999 by a geologist named Simon Day was the first to notice that something seemed strange. It appeared to him that the western flank of the volcano was beginning to become unstable and was in the initial stages of a collapse. Several future papers written about it hypothesized that with each future eruption, this flank would become even more unstable until at some uncertain point in the future, an eruption would be big enough to cause the entire chunk to come crashing down into the ocean. How big of a chunk would this be? Well, a paper written back in 2005 estimates that it would be between 150 and 500 cubic kilometers worth of rock, which is a lot. In the worst case scenario of 500 cubic kilometers, it would slam into the ocean and create an initial water dome of 900 meters tall, which is taller than the Burj Khalifa is in Dubai. That would be an incredible sight to see alone, but then according to this paper, the really bad stuff happens next. The dome would quickly transform into a wave about 600 meters high and surge westwards at speeds up to 720 kilometers per hour, about the same speed as a jet aircraft. Several 100-meter high titanic tsunamis will crash on the western shores of the Canary Islands, and shortly after, smaller 50 to 100-meter high waves will impact the African west coast. Meanwhile, a solid wave 500 kilometers across surges westwards across the Atlantic towards America. Since the Canary Islands acted like the Jupiter for Europe and took most of the tsunamis blow in that direction, small waves between 5 and 7 meters will impact the shores of Spain and England and cause only minor damage. Finally, after traveling for about 9 hours, the first part of the wave makes impact in the Americas. After traveling for so long, the tsunami will have lost most of its size, but even still, 10-meter high waves will hit the coast of Newfoundland and Canada, while larger 15 to 20-meter high waves impact the northern coast of South America from Brazil to Venezuela. Unfortunately for Florida, though, they will end up taking the brunt of the tsunami's power here. 20 to 25-meter high waves will crash across the east coast of the state and severely damage cities like Miami and Jacksonville. The waves here will be about the same size as the waves of the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami in Indonesia, and similar-sized 10 to 25-meter high waves will crash across the rest of the U.S. East Coast, which would definitely damage cities like Charleston, New York, and Boston. What? Would you like to know more?
Ray Charles can see that. Anybody can. All right. Now let me tell you the magnitude that was happening. That happened today at La Palma. Bear with me here. It's taking a while to pull up. I'm just looking at it. They had a there was a 4.2 or 4.3 magnitude. They were like 33.6. It's literally all over the island. It's taken a while to come up, guys. I was looking at it. It's literally all over the island. As I said before, I got information from people that actually are there on that island, telling me, Nick, there's a lot of landslide happening right now today. The land didn't break off. It's sliding. What causes landslide, guys? If people living in Japan, people living in the Philippines know this. For you to have landslide, you got to have movement of ground. You got to have crack in the ground. You got to have those things in the ground to have landslides, guys. Especially at the rate that we're having it today. What that tells me, the ground is cracking. The ground there is moving. That piece of land that we don't want fall off in that water is cracking. I'm not sugarcoating it. There's a lot of crack going on because they're having a lot of landslide today. It's very obvious. I look at the earthquake reading. It's very, very obvious. Stevie Wonder could see it. Something is not right. Anyway, there's another eruption coming for La Palma, and this time it's going to be the big volcano. What you're seeing is the small volcano, folks. And I know you guys are like, wow, that thing is crazy. But that is the small volcano. The big volcano is actually north of that island. Where that rock raises 10 inch a couple days ago. That's the magma trying to get out right there. That's the big magma chamber lifting the ground. It's just a matter of time before that thing goes kaboom. It's just a matter of time, folks. All right? So what I'm trying to say to you, it's not getting better. I'm singing the same song every single day. And every single day I said it, I'm on point. It's getting worse, folks. All right? So, as I was saying, I saw earthquakes. 3.3, guys. Let me read them out. 3.3, 3.8. 3.8 was like a couple minutes ago. Like a few minutes ago. A while ago, sorry. 3.4, 3.3, 3.5, 3.4, 3.3, 3.6, 4.2, 3.3, 3.4, 3.4, 3.4. You guys get the point, right? These are big quakes that are happening. Even though they're like 3 point and 4 point something, the depth of these quakes, guys, are like 0.7 miles deep. These big quakes are surface quakes. When you got big quakes like this that are surface quakes, it's magma. It's magma moving. All right? Now, the day Yellowstone started having these readings, which they're not having it yet, but the day these readings are happening at Yellowstone, you guys on the West Coast, pack your stuff and run, because that kaboom is not going to be pretty, and millions are going to die in 18 hours. All right. So the day this start happening at Yellowstone, I'll let you guys know, but I wouldn't even sit around and try to think about it. That's a super volcano. That's completely different from the one in La Palma. You will make the one in La Palma look like child's play. It's so anyway. So the point is, guys, it's everything I've been saying is playing out. It's playing out accordingly. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. But this is it takes time for things to escalate to that point. It's not going to like boom overnight. But I know there's a another volcano eruption coming that's north of La Palma. That's happening. That's going to happen. And when that happens, I do believe that's when we're going to be in some serious trouble with this piece of rock that we're watching. I do believe that will be like the icing on the cake when that go off. I don't think it will break off immediately, but that will be, I think, the icing on the cake. So I am watching it. I'm watching the volcano mostly because the volcano will tell me how early give me a time period, on the eruption, when to expect the eruption. But at this point, no. But it's coming. It's not if, it's just a matter of when. But you guys don't have to worry about anything. The small volcano is still erupting. I think it's the big volcano that we're going to have to seriously worry about. And no one's talking about the big volcano. Not a lot of people even know there's two volcanoes in La Palma. There's two, and not a lot of people know that. A lot of people think it's just one volcano. No. It's two. And what you're seeing, folks, is the small one erupting. All right? I will still keep you guys posted. I can't stay too long on this. Guys, I'm still doing the list. of names, put in the names on my list. As I said, it was in the thousands when I did what I did. I got over a couple thousand names. I'm very, it's kind of cool to get that amount of people that want your information, but the work is crazy. You guys gave me a lot of work because I have to input each name. Each name has to be put in individually. All right, I got to put them in individually, each name. So still taking my time. So thank you guys. Can't stay too long. I gotta go, but I just want to keep you guys informed, let you guys know what's going on, keep you guys posted, to let you know that keep enjoying your life, guys. Just enjoy it. Make the best of it. We don't have long here, folks. I keep telling you guys that 7 years. We got 7 good years left. Even though it's crazy now, and you guys, people are like, "Wow, can it get any worse?" I promise you. I guarantee you, it's gonna get 100 times worse. And I'm not being negative. I'm just being a pragmatic realist. I know what's coming. I'm fully aware of what's coming. And this is nothing. This is just a precursor. This is just an intro of what's coming, what the future is going to be like. This future is going to be 100 times worse. All right? What?
Dr. Day said waves hitting the UK coast would not penetrate more than 2 or 3 kilometers inland. He told the BBC in 2003, "Strange things happen when a tsunami enters a harbor or estuary. If it resonates at a certain frequency, it can substantially increase the damage. But fear is rising across the Atlantic, where waves can reach as high as 40 meters, 130 feet, towards northern Brazil." Dr. Day added, "It's very likely you'll see waves as high as 50 meters coming up the coast in Florida, New York, Boston, all the way to Greenland, and in some cases reaching up to 10 kilometers inland. And that would be about 9 hours or so after early collapse."
What? I am Morpheus.
okay, and could easily be something that goes inland to the UK, also the US of A, and also, I mean, according to these dreams, some of what he was saying actually fits in with the topographical map for America. And here's an example, okay, if I can get it on the screen right. Maybe this. Okay, that's a little bit better. Not really. Oh, here. There we go. There we go. That's a lot better. All right. So if you look at this green area is sort of like the lower elevation. So if you had something with hundreds of feet of water coming inland, it would likely cover all of this dark green area. All of this dark green area. And according to his dream, Florida was completely, as you would say, gone. Okay, and part of the south and also the east coast. And he also mentioned some of it actually went over here even into in California had sort of like a section. He said it was like actually sort of split from the rest of the US of A, but it looks like there's just this area here that would be almost like a big lake, a massive lake right in the middle of California. And he mentioned something about Nevada because there is actually a little bit here too. So it's kind of curious, and there's also a little bit up here. So you can see this dark green is actually where most likely the water would cover. Obviously, Louisiana even has some negative elevation, as you already probably know. That would probably be one of the biggest ones, obviously. But Florida has very low elevation as well. So you can tell that it wouldn't be very good. Now, I live sort of in the middle, so it wouldn't be, I don't know. I'm just curious if it would go into the light green or not, but if this did happen. So right now, if you look at all the stories, and I literally have 50 windows up, and no joke. And there's some rather interesting stories coming out right now. Look at this one here. Okay, let me just show you this. Let me just show you this so you can see where I'm coming from. So I just did a simple search on Google for Canary Islands. I clicked the news tab. As you can, well, can I show it on the screen? Maybe I can show it on the screen. Okay, there we go. Here it is, right here. So one of the stories is right here. It literally talks about this possibility right now. This was 4 minutes ago. And this is one of the things they list. As you can see here. And it's been going on for a while now. Now, again, this guy here was talking about it. This guy's from I've talked about this guy numerous times. His name is Stan. But he says that all he knew about was this one man's dream from 2012 about this. And I'm like, really? All you got to do is a little bit of a search, and you can find multiple people talking about this. There's actually a lot of people who have had this dream. There's even a guy named John, as you would say, Leary. There's a lot of people who've had this dream, actually, from what I can tell. I didn't even look around very much, and I found like 4 of them. And I looked very little. I'm sure there's probably about 20 people that had this dream, if I went and actually looked a little bit. But yeah, for the Canary Islands. And so this is going on right now. Now, some people say that this is not exactly natural. And maybe that's the case. Some are saying it's because, and there's a lot you can get into with this. If you go watch my video on my other channel, Sail Daddy One, I'm actually covering sort of other things going on right now with those that are behind the reserve, those that have all the money and all that kind of stuff. They've defaulted on what they owe on September 30th, and also the debt limit wasn't raised. That was actually part of it as well. They're trying to print this $1 trillion coin or whatever it was. The fact of the matter is they ran out of money, and usually they're able to find a way out of it, but I don't think they're going to this time. And you can see all the stuff that's happened in the last 2 years is a result of this, them trying to avoid losing, as you would say, power. And if they do have some certain types of technology to where they could actually cause, say a volcano to do things, who knows? Maybe they've been doing something. I mean, we all know that even 20 years ago they had that kind of technology when it comes to something like the weather, right? Whether they have that kind of technology for something like that, I don't exactly know. But if they did, and they were about ready to lose, as you would say, power, maybe they would try something like that. I don't know. You're between a rock and a hard place. You never know, right? But, I mean, there's a lot of other channels covering this here and there. Some are saying 2 weeks, and that was 2 weeks ago. That's right now, folks. Now, of course, I've also put out videos saying what if, and 8 days from now or whatever, and then it ends up not being 8 days now. Maybe it'll be 10 days now, maybe 20 days, maybe 30. Who knows, right? And actually, what's odd was this dream. This guy said that this would happen at the end of August or after the end of August. And while we're in October, but we did start seeing this stuff start happening at the end of August. So that is kind of curious. And like I said, there's a number of other people who have had the exact same dream over the years, literally. And this guy said that the land would, like this, go in exactly the same way as it shows on this theoretical model I showed back here, because that is exactly where the fault line is and how it would work. It would work just like this here, on a diagonal. This part here is actually going in right now on the video. So you can kind of see the idea. And there is a lot of stuff going on. I mean, here's an example. There's already thousands of, as you would say, homes, and that's right now. But I'm kind of curious. I mean, it could theoretically end up something like this here. Okay? We don't know. And if it does, I mean, you would have very little time. I mean, just imagine this. And what he said in the dream makes perfect sense to how it would play out, too. Let me show you this. He's talking about, like, you're given notice. Like, okay, this goes like 500 miles an hour, from what I understand. If I understand correctly, this is what they were saying. And if it is 300 foot tall, 500 miles an hour, you would have maybe 5-6 hours to do something. Let's say you live in Florida. If you live in the middle of Florida, if you drove for 5 or 6 hours, you actually wouldn't even get to out of the green. Okay, if you live in Florida, if you were just in the middle of it, you're not even at the bottom. Let's just say you're right here. It would take you at least 5 or 6 hours. I don't even know if you could get out in 5 or 6 hours. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. I really don't think you could get out in 5 or 6 hours, even to this green.
What?